Hey, welcome back to Learning Self-Reliance. My name is Roland, and today I wanted to do a quick video for you guys. I realized I do some Boy Scout stuff locally, and I realized when I was reading through the Scout book here how great of a book it would be for beginner preppers. So for anybody who doesn't know, Boy Scouts, it's a youth activity group for boys, and they go out camping and they practice like first aid, personal finances, physical fitness, even cooking now. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's in this book, and I think it'd be a great addition to anybody who's just getting started out and doesn't even have some of the most basic skills like creating fires and first aid and safety, things like that. I think this would be a great book. So first off, I do want to say that this book is a little bit pricey online. It's about 30 bucks if you try to buy this on like Amazon or something like that. But you can find it locally if you go to your local Boy Scout store for about 15 bucks. And I'll talk a little bit later about that. But let's get started and open this book. So a lot of this book is, as I mentioned, it is geared toward boys, and so there are some random things about like scout salute and scout handshake and things like that. But skipping over that, then you start getting into stuff like first aid and basic kits that you could get for yourself, right? So it's got a nice list here of different items that you're probably going to want in your kit, right? Which is awesome. Getting a little kit like that would be really useful. Goes through, here's a bunch of here's the index of the first aid here. So it's got different things like choking, severe bleeding, shock, and stroke. And again, you know, this is focused towards young men, and it's not going to teach you how to be a doctor or like a medic or anything like that, but it's going to teach you how to do first aid and get somebody to like the EMTs or something like that that can actually help the person, right? So a good basic introduction for that. I'll give you guys a little bit more look at that index there. Lots of different information, and a nice part about it is it's got some nice little images and things on here about how to treat and different ways to help. And then it actually goes through animals and things like that. It has some footprints and stuff. I'll see if I can find that for you guys later. But it's also got venomous snakes and how to tell the difference on them, ticks and things like that, how to deal with them. Here we've got some stuff about sprains and strains with different broken bones and things like that as well. Let's skip over that. And it starts to get into just like some basics of swimming and stuff like that. And you'd be surprised how many people can't swim. So that'd actually be pretty beneficial to some people. Starts to talk about different things like looking for trails for animals and scat and things like that. Basics of tracking, which is an extremely useful skill if you're looking at hunting or anything like that. It's also got some basics to camping here. Oh, look at that. How to treat drinking water. Basics to camping, like what kind of gear you should bring, clothing choices, depending on the weather that you're expecting. It's got some nice stuff talking about tents here, how to choose a good tent. And again, this is all just basic stuff, which is great for anybody who doesn't really have much experience. This is really going to give you just kind of an all-around view about how to do bushcrafting, camping, and dealing with unexpected situations and things like that. How to hide your food from a bear, great idea. How to properly discard of things like dishwater, stuff like that. Here's something a lot of people don't know how to do these days, which is dealing with a physical topographical map, no GPS. This has got great stuff talking about that. All your different map symbols, things like that. Then it starts talking about how topographical maps work. This is really great way to demonstrate contour lines, drawing it on your knuckles like that. That's a great idea. Starts to talk about compasses and navigating with compasses. So the direction of north kind of changes a bit depending where you are in the United States. So this has got a nice little chart to help you figure it out. It's got some awesome stuff here about like finding north using the shadow stick method, using a watch. Those are really nice, simple methods that you can, this one you can do anywhere. You just need a stick, it's awesome. Starts to go through things like knots, which are really useful. That's one thing I definitely need practice on, and I've gotten a lot better at it over the past couple years. But having good knots makes a big difference when you're lashing things together and trying to build out a shelter. All right, and that's just a quick overview of some of the stuff that's in this book. Let's go through the contents of this stuff real quick so you guys can kind of see things that might be applicable to kind of emergency preparedness and stuff like that. Fitness, first aid, nature, hiking, camping, cooking, navigation, tools, personal safety. That's pretty important. A lot of people get lost out in the middle of nowhere when they're new and don't know how to navigate very well. Yeah, this is a great book for anybody who's getting started. You know, this is the new version, 2016 version. They've had some. They renew it probably every 10 years or so, maybe more often than that. But this is, I think, a great book to add for anybody who's just starting out and needs some help with the basics. A lot of people on YouTube kind of just skip over the basics and assume that people know how to make a fire and things like that. And this goes through the basics of that. I'll probably provide a link in the description below to Amazon so you guys can see the book. But I'll probably also provide a link to the Scout website, which helps you find has a store locator, and I'll have a link to that as well. And that's probably more what you're going to want to use. Go to your local Boy Scout store, buy it there, and they've got tons of equipment stuff there. Probably not the best deal to get it there, but at least you can look through it and kind of get an idea of what's going on. And the people there are really helpful. They're really excited to help you out. All right, guys, that's it. This is just a quick video talking about this unusual book for preparedness, but I think this would be great for anybody just starting out. Please remember to like and subscribe.